and welcome to Bay of Fundy Fortunes. If you're new, I am Natalie. I'm not here to do a reading tonight. Today is May the 10th, 2019, and it is the third birthday / anniversary for Bay of Fundy Fortunes. It was created on this day back in 2016, and here I am. Here we all are, I should say. I never think of Bay of Fundy. I always think of it as a separate entity outside of me. It's got its own thing going on, and so I try to not say I or me too much, because it's a collective of beautiful spirits, and I don't know what to say. I don't have anything scripted. I didn't even make a points list or anything like that. It's how does one convey their gratitude. You know, I could say thank you thousands of times over, and it still wouldn't feel like enough. It's just a shock to look back and say, wow, it's been 3 years. 3 years? And I think of the trail that I've been on in the last 3 years. I'm saying I now. Actually, just to slide this in there, I've gotten some emails where people have asked me to put out a video. I've been putting it off for the last 8 or 9 months since people started asking, because how do you do that without sounding like you're conceited or vain or it's all about you, but people wanting to know where it came from, when did I get into reading, when did I know I had gifts, could I talk about my personal life, who I am, what I'm all about, this kind of a thing. So we're thinking on doing maybe where people can ask questions. It won't be live. It'll be pre-recorded, but in the group, people will be able to ask any questions they want, and I'll be asked those questions from probably Michelle, who is the owner and operator of Intuitive Candles. She'll be asking the questions and probably making me squirm a bit. I don't know. It's just something kind of like it's an idea still. We haven't really sat down to really work out the bugs on it. I like a nice tight video. This one's not going to be anything like that because, as I said, I don't have anything scripted. It's just that it blows me away how people from all over the world, especially in my times of a little too much reality, my times of loss in my life and grief, and people from all over the planet, you would not believe the corners of the world that I hear from, places I've never heard of, other places I've heard of that are scary when you think about them, the countries of unrest, this sort of a thing. And I have a blog off to the side, which I really don't devote time to anymore, but it does have some of my writings in it. I'll give you the guys, you can go in and check out the different stories, but it's www.tapley'sturnofthetide.blogspot.ca. There's no ad in there. It's .blogspot.ca. Tapley's it's Tapley's Turn of the Tides with an S or without. I can't remember right off. The early stuff, there's so many mistakes, but I've grown as a writer. My husband, when he was alive, he was a professional writer. He was the youngest newspaper editor in the history of the province here that I live in. And he was a factual writer, a reporter, journalism, this sort of thing. But he wrote based on fact, and I'm more of an emotional type, and I dabbled a bit before I even met him, but I wasn't into it until he said, you know something, you've got the voice. You can, they call it that when you write well and people are being pulled in and they're there with you as you're writing, and they can feel everything. He said there's a thing called you have your own voice. You're a writer. You're better than me. He said, I hate to admit it, but you're better than I am. But you still learn every day. I make mistakes. I wish I had more time to devote to that. That is a craft. Somebody had said, well, there have been a few comments in the on the group in Facebook, and Facebook group Bay of Fundy Fortunes on Facebook is closed and private. So if you want to join us there, you're more than welcome. They're just a great group of people. There's no drama. Everybody just is in like a zen. Like they come in. I sit back and laugh sometimes. But they're unbelievable. These people carried me when I needed to be carried. And I knew it at the time, and I was dumbfounded and speechless. You guys that know me and have been here with me for a while know what I'm referring to. When my life literally went, it changed overnight. And did the cards see that coming? Hell yeah. And everybody there to witness it and to see it. I'd like to say something else that's bothering me as well. The reference to people like myself. Now in my group, I've got tarot readers that have their own channels. I know that, and I'm glad you guys are with me. That's a big honor. It really is. When your peers say, well, I want to see what you're up to and I want to follow what you're doing, that is the highest honor amongst us readers. For those of you that are new to YouTube, and the YouTube tarot community, I should say, because it is a community all on its own, separate from all the other thousands and thousands and thousands of videos. YouTube's great. They rock for the most part. What bothers me is when people say, oh, you dabble in the dark arts. I get offended by that because we're all about chasing away the darkies, right? Anything that's dark. Chase it away, right? And it's not a color thing. It's just that most things that are really dark, the shadows in our lives, these are the things we work on keeping away from us. We try so hard to embrace humanity as a whole. We work at that, and we get frustrated because honestly, what we are, we don't dabble in the. Well, I can't speak for everybody. I can speak for me and people that are like me. And it took me a long time. It took me almost 3 years to say, I'm not a dark witch. I don't practice witchcraft or anything like that. I don't do spells or anything like that. Good for those that do. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying I don't do those things. I've not been led in those directions. Have I dabbled a bit? Yeah. Have I seen things happen? Hell yeah. You know, I'll tell you real quick, and nobody's going to know what I'm talking about, and it doesn't matter. But I did have a witch say, do this, this, and that, and see what happens. So I did this, this, and that to see what would happen. And the tide was out and very, very low. So there's just the mud, the seabed floor, we call the mud flats, were exposed. And I'm looking across, and I'm like, talking to someone specifically on the beach on the other side, saying, you come over here. You walk over here right now. I dare you, I command you to walk over here right now. So mote it be, and so it is, and all that good stuff. In under 30 seconds, I ran and I closed my windows and locked them, and I closed my doors and locked them, and hid myself in my bedroom because the person that I had just got the words out of my mouth, they suddenly turned, and I could see this slight figure, and it was getting closer and closer, cutting right across the mud flats, just like Jesus walking on water. It just reminded me of it. And it blew me away, and I have done self-protection, things that I put up and stuff like that, but I don't dabble with a cauldron, and I don't mix things and create potions and all that kind of stuff. But my whole point of all this is I don't work in the dark arts. I'm a light worker. It took me 3 years for the light bulb, almost literally. I don't have a light bulb in my head, but the figurative light bulbs in my head. Boom, poof, poof, poof. Going off. You're flipping light workers, what you are. And there's so many of us out here. I thank the universe for that. And I know I'm older now. I wish this is all I had followed through from the time I was 18 and kept up with everything. I'd be light years ahead. So I'm older now, and I know my days are numbered, my years are numbered. I'm trying to make it count for what I can. And some people take tarot reading extremely seriously. It's like astrology. You know, when I used to get the newspaper delivered, I'd bypass all the headlines, right? Fold the page over, fold it down, get my first cup of coffee in the morning and my little piece of toast, and I'd sit and read my astrology. That'd be the first thing I'd go for. That was before the days of the internet, right? I enjoyed getting the paper. I enjoyed holding it. I enjoyed the smell of it. I enjoyed everything about it. I still miss that. I love reading, and obviously, I guess I enjoy writing. So I really wish I had more hours in the run of a day. I'm a person that is not of high energy, and it's challenging to keep doing this day in, day out, and for 3 years just blows my mind. I have talked to other readers. I have read for other readers, numerologists, psychics, angel workers, all of them I have read for them as they requested me to, and many of them have said, I used to do what you were doing 20 years ago, and I had to stop. I couldn't handle the drained feeling all the time, being exhausted all the time, your head hurting because you're just doing too much. I've slowed down, and I'm sorry, like, I've got a few readings that are waiting, and I could have had them done probably 4 days ago. And if I'm feeling tired, I honor my gifts that I was given at the time of birth, before I was born, I believe. I believe we're all brought to this earth, and we're all given gifts. Some of us have the depth to explore those gifts, and some are as shallow as a dried up creek, and they have no interest. Well, good, then you remain over there while we remain over here, right? Right on. So, but we're light workers. I like to think that, I think so much. Excuse me. And those that are wondering, because I coughed, I just got a tickle. I'm doing okay. Where's my vape? I am doing okay with the smoking. I could be doing better. The last 4 or 5 days have kind of backslid a little bit. But my gosh, compared to where I was and the amount that I was smoking, I have cut back by more than half. So, and I feel the difference. I do. I feel the difference. It's a good thing, and I hope to get to the point where I don't need the vape. I don't need or want any of it. That's the thing. It's the want to. I didn't want to give up smoking. Giving up smoking because if I don't, I'm going to be in dire straits. It's just that simple. No, it's not my lungs. It's my legs. When I say dire straits, think of the worst things that could happen to a person's, a human's legs. That's what I was threatened with. It's coming. So, having said all that, it gives me a goal. I hadn't really taken part in the beach and the walking and all that in the last 3 or 4 years. The last 2 years especially, year and a half. My husband's been gone something like 14, 15 months now. It feels like 6 months ago to me still. But long story. It's a whole book in itself, and someday I may write it. And it's about mental illness and depression and all those things, not on my part, but living with somebody whose life is consumed with that, that's got 5 different mental diagnosed orders. And at one time they were quite normal, thank you very much. And I already know what I'm going to call the book or the story. It's coming, maybe for my blog, probably. And it's called My Only Human. That's mine, and I take ownership of it. But I think if I hadn't gotten involved in my husband was afraid of things like tarot cards. He was scared to death of them, and I got mad at him one day. We had a wood stove, glass front, and he wouldn't shut up about the cards and the book. I had a big, beautiful book. I just very quietly got up. I got sick of it, the repetitiveness of it, the nagging of it, and I very quietly walked into my room. I grabbed the deck of cards and the silk scarf that I had them tied in, and my beautiful book. I opened up the oven door to the wood stove, and I burned them. I said, there, you can relax now. They're gone. About a week later, I asked him, you notice any changes? Still having lots of bad luck. So I said, there you go, and I burned those cards and books, and I think I could probably maybe have a little side business with it someday, and it would help us out. We're struggling. And well, about a year before he passed away, I'm not going to do the math, but anyway, I used to just go on YouTube and watch all the other readers, and I had my favorites. I had 2 or 3 favorites, and then a light bulb went off one day, and I said to myself, what am I doing? Because I'm watching these readers, and when they started out, and these were people that were new. That's who I want to watch, was the people that were new. See how fresh and good they were, you know. I like getting them fresh when they're young like that, and they're brand new in the arts, you might say. And because they're just so green, they're so authentic, they're so real. That's what I like. But then a light bulb went off, and I'm watching these. The beginning, you know, one, she had long hair, and she never did nothing with it. She never wore makeup. Just wore a sweatshirt and blue jeans, and she was pretty cool, and she was good, and I enjoyed listening to her. But as time went on, and I noticed this with a couple of the other readers I had been following, they started to, they're coming out with new hairdos, new hair colors. They're wearing, the girl that I just mentioned, she had her hair done, she had makeup on, wearing really nice clothes, her nails. I'm like, girlfriend, what are you doing, rolling in it or what? And all of them seem to be watching the graduation of them, and then becoming more confident, and they're looking good, and they're feeling good, and all of that. And I thought they must be making a few dollars at it. I know it's not politically correct for anybody to talk about money, but I'm just saying. I thought, okay, that could be bread and milk money for us. I don't care. I'm not looking to get rich. I don't want to be rich. I had a close call with being rich. I didn't like what I saw. No, thank you. I don't need to be financially extremely well off where I never have to worry again. I think worrying's all a part of life. If you don't fight to keep a roof over your head, what are you fighting for, right? You know, your family, but your family's included into that security. We all want security. So anyways, I got the light bulb. I said, well, I'm stupid. I could be doing the same thing, but can I do it? It can't be easy getting on camera and thousands and thousands and thousands of people seeing you talk and seeing you read your cards and the whole 9 yards. And I think the first few times I was really, really nervous, but people come on and said, I know you're new, but oh, I hope you go far. I really like your style of reading, and I like this and I like that. It was like, really? Wow. I can remember when I got 50 subscribers, we almost had a house party. We did. We were so excited. And now, 3 years later, oh my God, you feel, wow. You know, we did. We were so 50. And then it hit 2,000. And I said, well, I've had to take so much time off. The numbers should be higher. And Eric, my husband at the time, he said, Natalie, 2,000 subscribers, really? Take 2,000 subscribers, those people, he said, and put them all at the front lawn. Now, does it look like just a few to you? Well, hell no. They take over the whole property. He said, there you go. And he was right, you know. And the only thing that I find that I still haven't got a grapple on, I don't know. I think I'm doing it right, if I'm doing it wrong, I don't know that I am. Is people with the high compliments. For somebody like me, in a way, it's good. It's given me confidence. Because I didn't grow up in a house where I got a lot of high compliments. Believe you me, it was not like that at all. It was very strict and rigid. Compliments weren't handed out. It was rare. And a million other things I could talk about, but I'm not going to go there. But anyways, sometimes people make me nervous because your intentions are good. Of course, I know that. I get that. You put forth your gratitude, and it's not me you should be grateful for. I'm just a tool. I really am. I'm a mediator between the universe and all the gifts that the universe has given to us. I'm just the mediator in the middle, and I pass it on to you. That's all I am. I'm not. I had two emails last week, and they were back to back, one on top of the other, and they couldn't believe that I responded to them and I answered them. And one woman said, "You just made my whole life." She said, "I've never ever been answered by anybody before, and here you are, this big star, and you answered me, and I can't believe it." I'm not a star. I'm a star as an atom, a molecule. You know what I mean? That way, we're all stardust, right? But not in the way these women meant it. It was very overwhelming to me, and it just made me want to fold in on myself and kind of hide away, because I'm no different. I'm just a middle-aged woman living in the countryside on the coast of Canada, and I play with tarot cards, and I share the gifts that I know that I have that were given to me that since I was 3 years old, I've been aware. I have memories of 3 years old and up. I have memories of seeing people for who they were at 3 years old. Why are the rest of the adults around me dumber than a bag of rocks when they can't see? That's a bad person. Some people. And I've always been an outgoing type of person. I don't shy away from anybody. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what station in life you find yourself in. I don't care if you're way up high, and I don't care if you're homeless. Oh, I care if you're homeless, but I mean, I would talk to you. You know what I mean? Any of us could find ourselves in a better situation or a worse situation than from what we really are. I believe that. It can change in a heartbeat. My life did a couple times real quick like that. Boom. You were in one state of mind in 1 second, and life is just floating along fine. Literally in the next second, your whole life turns upside down. It's mind-blowing. And to be, I feel like I've been led all this time and led along. And am I ever going to get rich from the channel? I don't think so, unless somebody wants to make me well off. Hey, but no. But it's you know, with my own personal little, and it's very, very small income. It's scary small. Okay, so if not for the little bit of extra that trickles in through, and a lot of times that money helps pay my bills so that I'm breaking even, and I can buy things I couldn't buy before. I can buy vitamins now, and I put myself on vitamins. And if I need things, small things, everyday things, you know, if I can get there to get them, then I can go get them. You know, still not having a car is the only hang back. I want a truck. I know everybody knows about the red Jeep. Really, if I could have a Jeep, it would be either a black one or a dark forest green one. And gold lettering the same on both. Nice rag top, you know, TJ or Sport, something like that, Jeep, right? And Bay of Fundy Fortunes in calligraphy written on the sides, right? Maybe a star and a moon or something painted. A custom paint job would be nice. That's what I see on the black one anyway. The red came from a very prophetic and vivid dream a friend of mine had had. She's seen us both with the rag top off, driving and flying up the coast, with our hair flying everywhere and big dark glasses on, she said, and the wind blowing everywhere. She said we were in our glory going up the coast, up the highway. So that came from her. I'd like to have a darker color. I don't know. Red kind of attracts too much attention and gets people in trouble. So anyways, where was I saying? I was saying something about, yeah, living it. It balances things out. Am I ever broke? Yes, but not like I used to be. And it feels good. I work too long, too much. I know that. I don't know where I'd be without it. It's what's carried me through to this point. And only the universe knows what's coming and waiting on the horizon. I'm sure there's many more good things to come. I'm just like super over the moon, speechless, no words from this writer can I come up with to say thank you to everybody for supporting the channel and for being here and for believing. And I don't feel alone anymore walking. And I used to say, am I the only sane person around? Everybody else is crazy or what? But no, I'm not. I'm not alone. We may be small in numbers globally, us light workers, right? Light workers. but we leave a big impact individually. We do our best work one-on-one, not by the masses. I don't work that way. It's one by one by one. If you can make someone smile, if you can make someone feel moved, if you can touch somebody, and if you leave someone with hope, that's stuff that all the wealth and all the money, all the prestige, all of it, none of that can buy that. So one human being touches another human being. And I like to use the word shadows because that's what we become. We ride like shadows in the back of the person we've come in contact with. I don't care if you just glance at another human being and you're like two ships passing in the night. You've touched each other. You have touched each other. And for some reason in that moment, you are meant to look at each other. I believe in that very strongly. You may never find the reason out why. But maybe it's none of your business. You're being used. Just that simple for the end result of whatever that is. But it's been an experience. I recommend to anybody, if you can get used to being in front of the camera, doesn't bother me now. At first I used to thought I was going to vomit. Oh my God, how do I hide how nervous I am? You know? And then it wasn't long and a little light bulb went off and said, well, why are you here? To talk on camera or to read for people? Read. Absolutely 100% read. Really? See, there's two sides of me, right? The side that kicks my butt and the nasty, sarcastic side said, really? So when you're reading, what you need to do is to concentrate on the reading and leave yourself open and stay in that mindset until you're through. And that's what I had to do. I'm passing messages along. That's all I'm doing. They're coming. I'm leaving myself open in this moment to bring messages through to whoever's picking up on the messages. They don't apply to everyone and they don't apply to you. And sometimes that's a good thing. Right? And I never mean to be rude or heavy-handed or anything when I'm being straight and direct with people. I really don't. But I don't have to face you. I can say whatever I want and tell you stuff that nobody else is going to have the nerve to bring up with you if you need to be told about something, whatever sign is being told in the moment, and whoever that is going to reflect on as well. And it's easier being outside of somebody's box looking in as a spectator, right? We see things that will never occur to the person that is the center of the situation. They're too close to it. They're too into it. And sometimes it takes people outside the situation look in and say, hey, call it as I see it. It is what it is, right? And for some reason, I just heard Leo in my head. Whoever's going to relate to that, it just came in, Leo, and I heard it twice. And the third time was coming. All right, I said it, you know. I just don't know how to say thank you for the support. Thank you for the connection and for all the interconnections that are going on around because of Bay of Fundy Fortunes. All we can do every day is to start our day with the best intentions and take it from there. Hope that we touch somebody in the run of the day. I go weeks at a time. I don't see another human being. Right now, one of my sons, I have three. One of them's been here off and on in between working and whatnot to make sure that I get out and walk every day. And because of him, he pushes me because it's a serious situation if I don't get things under control. So, and sitting here, there's the big thing. Like I sat here and didn't move for 14 hours a day. It wasn't weight that was getting put on. It's not it. I wasn't getting any exercise at all other than running around the house and the odd trip to the grocery store, running in a big superstore, and that's about it. And my legs are a mess right now because of that lack of activity. It's not healthy to sit for 12, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. Holidays or not, you find yourself behind the camera or in front of the camera. There we go. It's another, so I've had to slow down and back off and go for my walk and get rest and this sort of a thing. I can't sit here so the wait time's a little longer and it's getting longer as time goes on. So the channel is in a really good place right now. Subscriber numbers are up. as readers, we look at those numbers, and we go, oh my God, if I think about that, I'm going to vomit. Millions of views, tens of thousands of subscribers, and you're thinking every time I go put my mug in front of the camera, millions of people are seeing this. Think about that. You're welcome. I don't know what else to say. But I'm glad that the gifts that I was given touched so many people. That in itself is a huge, huge, if I use the word blessing, I guess I don't know what other word to use, but for me, to feel it's very humbling is truly, and no one ever died from being humble. Nobody, you know, and you never ever have to worry. I know it. There's a saying that says if you start to believe in your own celebrity, that's the day you begin to fall. And other people may put you up on a pedestal, right? Never climb up there. The minute they turn their backs, you jump your ass right back down again. There's nothing worse you could do to somebody than put them up on a pedestal, because the day will come they'll fall. They will take a fall from grace. And I know who I am, and I know what I'm all about. I know where I belong. Nobody ever has to worry about that with me, getting a fat head or a big ego or anything like that, because I don't feel that. I am no different. I bleed the same as you. Same bodily functions as you. There's no difference. You know, that's the part I struggle with, is when people, I know they feel grateful, but really put the thanks up to the universe, your God, your Allah, whatever. All right? However you relate, but put your gratitude and thanks up there. And then maybe that I was in the right place at the right time for you to hear this message. Put the thanks up there. I just open myself up and let everything come through. And sometimes I wing it hard. Sometimes in my head I'm like, I am not saying that. I say it in my head to myself, no. And it'll say it over again and over again. It's like, all right. It won't stop. And then I say it and it goes, puff, it's gone. And that's the way it works. The same annoying word over and over and over, or phrase, message that comes through. There have been some very, very, enough to make me a firm believer. Let me see. I've seen enough. I'm thinking I'll write in a book one of these times. I really am, about all the different experiences. And I'm a logical person before I'm ever anything else at all, ever. If something strange happens, if I cannot explain it away in a logical manner, then I stop and I say, really? And then we stop and think about it a little bit long from a different angle altogether. Not everything's a sign, all right? Not everything's a sign. Always try to remain logical. My big thing and my favorite word, you guys have heard me say it many, many times, is integrity. Live your life like you're living it under the microscope of the universe. If you do that, you'll never do anything wrong. Believe me. Believe me. I try. Still get pissed off a lot. That's my weakest thing, is I'm a very expressive person, and people that don't know me well don't know what to make, I'm sure. But that's the way, it's part of my heritage. It's in my blood to be this way. See, the hands are going. If you make someone like me sit on my hands or tie them behind my back, I won't be able to talk. It's just that simple. The hands go. That's the way I am. And when I was really, really young, I had to walk around and talk like this, eh? I couldn't have any inflection in my voice. I couldn't show any emotion. And then when I got older, I took my rightful place among the cosmos and the wheel of life and said, be damned. I'm going to have color in my life. I'm going to be the burst of color in a very black and white world. I'm sick of this. And I don't care if people back off. I don't care if people don't like it. This is who I am, and I'm going to be me. I take that, embrace that. That's what makes us all individuals. To hell be damned with what's trending now and all this other crap that's going on around us and the world that's around us. Try to create the world that you're fighting for. Try to create the world that you're making your world, and you're wanting to share that out with other people. That's what it's all about. It's all about the sharing. It's all about emotions. It's all about manifestation. It's all about taking responsibility. It's all about doing the right thing the right way at the right time. Not going to go on too much longer. We're coming into 35 minutes now. I thought this would be 7 or 8 minutes long. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm just winging it here. I guess we'll close out by doing something special that I've been saving this for. This came from one of my viewers. He's a member of the channel and a member of the group. His name is Carl. The initials SF. He's a very big contributor to the channel. People don't realize that. And a month after my husband passed away, and it was Christmas, he sent me a big parcel. This is one thing that I've held on to, waiting for a special moment to use it. And it's too pretty to burn, but I'm going to do it tonight. It's this beautiful, it's called a Divinity Smudge Stick. Look at this. It looks more like spring than it does anything. It's just full of different, the camera doesn't do it any justice. It's just full of beautiful things. And I thought to start a new year off with Bay of Fundy Fortunes. But that's what we would do. And I do have a small supply of my ingredients in for my regular smudge. I've already done a couple smudges in the private readings that I've been doing. And I'm supposed to use a plain piece of wood. It still has to be lit with this. It doesn't make any sense. So we're going to have a bit of a smudge. We ask for peace, balance, and harmony within the channel and the people viewing it. And to protect every heartbeat within Bay of Fundy Fortunes, no matter where they find themselves. Oh, it smells beautiful. We ask for joy. We ask for health, wealth, and abundance, love, peace, tranquility, blessings. Just going to set that on the smudge bowl so it's got somewhere to burn too. I made a mess. Thank you for this, Carl. Been saving it for a special day. I knew the day would come. And I kept it in the box the whole time, up in my bedroom, in my closet. It's burning quite well. What a beautiful smudge. I'm very, very lucky to live the life I lead. I put that out there right now. I'm lucky where I am. I'm lucky the way my life is. Could it be better? There's always room for improvement. Always. I want to thank you all very much. I don't know what else to say. I really don't. From the very bottom of my soul and my being, the essence of who I am, I thank all of you for being here, and we're all here for each other as well. And just real quick, I want to say, if I don't return your emails, if I don't return your messages, I don't do it on purpose. I don't do it out of spite. I don't do it because I'm mean. I do it because I look real quick. Is it anything super important? No, I'll get back to them later. Is this anything really important? No, I'll get back to them later. And that's the way it happens. And then I get distracted before a week or two has gone by. So anyways, I just wanted to put that out there as well. This is a beautiful smudge. Look at how long that's smudging. This is just beautiful. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. And I hope that 2019 is going to carry us into 2020 as well. And ask for a blessing over this channel and every heart that beats within it. Let them know the face of the universe. Keep the peace in, everybody, so you can share that love and that light out with the rest of the world. Goodbye for now.